Let's go to the hobby store, guys. I heard they have an interesting vintage Nitro for us. All right, my local hobby store. Oh man, what is this? This is
an old Jeremy.
Jeremy?
Yep.
What time frame you date this to about?
This is early 70s.
See this a Nitro one?
That did over 220 miles an hour
wow.
in 1971.
Nitro World Order.
Nitro World Order.
Nitro World Order.
Nitro World Order.
What's up, Nitro gang? This is my Traxxas t-maxx 3.3, and today we are going to my local hobby shop. I need to buy some parts, guys. Now, the last time I ran it, let me tell you what happened. Basically, I almost tried to kill it. Now, I don't want to blame myself. I don't really want to blame the t-maxx. What I want to blame was the very cold weather that I was running in. Let's leave it here. T-maxxes are hitting the sand. Oh, we lost the drive shaft. We got ourselves a little bit of a problem. Look at that, we got front wheel drive. I must have broken something. We're out, guys. I had a drive shaft pop. Front wheel drive sand bash. We can't go anywhere. I got only front wheel drive. Check that out. Front wheel drive burnout. It's all right. Let me tell you what I broke. Let me pull it out and show it to you. So here is the actual drive shaft. This is one of the center drive shafts. It's called a half shaft. Basically, it slides in and out. You know, that's why it's a half shaft. You can clearly see a piece of plastic here broke off. It's not the end of the world. These are very inexpensive parts, and that is one of the best things about owning a Traxxas product. There's just insane parts availability, guys. I really wanted to burn some nitro today, but it's a cold day. That's why we're gonna go to the hobby store. But also, I'm hungry. And I got myself some awesome, sickening Chinese food. This is chicken and broccoli with some white rice. I'm going to enjoy this. Then we're gonna go to the hobby store, take a look at where I think I broke this t-maxx. It was actually part of a different video. I did record it. And then this thing drove two-wheel drive only. Unfortunately, it was only front-wheel drive. Now, one of my good friends, Nitro Gang member Mike, he went to the local hobby store a while ago, picked me up a set of drive shafts. I made sure I told him, get the Revo or the t-maxx, really thick drive shafts. Well, our hobby store owner gave him these. Now, these guys, this is for the older 2.5 classic model. I just called and I verified they do have the larger, thicker ones that you need for the 3.3 model here. Let's enjoy some Chinese, then hit up the hobby store. USA #1. Keep freedom alive. Check that out though. This is the taste of freedom. Here, have some. Some broccoli, there you go. Get your fiber in. I don't think anyone's ever seen people eat Chinese food in their car with an American flag. You guys know why I do this? Because my channel is not sponsored by the Arma Gang. I want you guys to know, nobody owns us. I do appreciate everyone that does contribute to this channel, my Patreon supporters, my channel members, and all of you viewers out there. We're going to keep doing things the way we always do them, and that is running rich and loud, eating Chinese food, and going to the hobby store. Let's roll. This is the most historic hobby store in this location, and the only one left in Staten Island. Going to turn on Park Avenue. Then we'll do a drive-by of the hobby store. It's all about that drive-by, guys. Somebody, let me pass, come on. All right. Almost on the street. Oh, wrong street, wrong street. Pissed off the guy right behind me. Okay, sorry my dude, that was the wrong street, okay? I haven't been here in a while. Turning on the street, and we are going to be passing it here on the left. Check that out, guys. Brownies Pro and Sport Hobbies. That's right, sickening. Gotta let this truck pass over here. Check that out. We've arrived at the hobby store. Now I just gotta park somewhere. This looks like a church. Okay, no parking anytime on this side. No parking anytime. Okay, it looks like on this side I could probably park right here. Right behind this Honda Pilot. Gas guzzler, by the way. Gas guzzler. Let's go get the parts. All right, there we go. Let's hope nobody tries to steal my catalytic converters on my awesome sickening Prius right there. Approaching the hobby store. I think at one point this was probably some of their, I think they had an indoor track in this building. I'm not quite sure, but pretty interesting display here in the front. I can obviously see it's all faded from the UV lights. You know, obviously these Traxxas boxes are not always blue like that. So they have the Rustler right there, obviously just boxes. They have the Slash 4x4 Mini E-Revo. Here we got another electric Slash. So basically these are all electric, just boxes in the front. Looks like some kind of retro vintage bodies. You know, Spectrum radios. These are just boxes, right? These are not like the for sale RCs. Let's see what they got here. Yeah, more faded boxes. Oh man, this is sickening. The Kyosho Blizzard. Oh, but this is, looks like the electric one that they had, not the Nitro Blizzard. But that's fine, that's pretty cool. The proper entrance is over here. This is Brownies Pro and Hobby Sports, my local hobby store. I heard they have an interesting vintage Nitro for us. All right, my local hobby store. Oh man, what is this? This is
an old Jeremy.
Jeremy?
Yep.
What time frame you date this to about?
This is early 70s.
Wow, that's like during the time frame when Associated was getting into the 1/8 scale Nitro racing. I remember the, wow.
It's a Cox 049 engine.
All right, these used to be used on the control line airplanes.
That's correct.
Long ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
No differential, very little bit in the way of a flexi suspension.
These had proper radio gear?
This is the whole remote control system right here. It was all one piece.
Right. Now, how did these servos used to work back then? Just similar or a completely different amount of
very
servos?
slow moving servos. This particular,
were they like lock to lock type of steering setup?
Oh no, they were proportional.
Oh, proportional?
We still had proportional, but it was a slow moving thing. You can see the top is broken.
All right, that looks like a...
And instead of being a spline, it's just a square, so you didn't have a whole lot of choice in positioning.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this would have been the simple throttle on this engine. It just baffled the exhaust. So
how would you start something like this? I see there's a belt over here.
This has a pull starter.
Okay.
Okay, that's your brakes.
Oh, that's the brakes, man.
The servo would pull on this, and it would pull on this band, which is basically just a tie strap.
Right.
Yeah, everything is all old and dry rotted, of course.
It looks like a solid suspension in the back. I think they call this like a flex plate or something.
Well, it would be relying on flexing on the chassis, and the front actually had a couple of springs in it, but not much in the way of movement. You know?
Oh, it looks like a clamshell style body.
Yep, that locked in the front and just one pin in the back. That was a typical body from back in the day, hard plastic.
Oh, hard plastic, right? Well, it didn't deteriorate. I gotta give it that, right?
No, it's got a good layer of dust on it.
Yeah. Well, these were 1/12 scales?
This is 12 scale, yes.
Did you do racing in the, let's say, the larger 1/8 scale segment during this time period? Because I know
absolutely.
Associated was in it, right?
Yeah, I ran some of the early stuff, Team Marker and MRP and Team Associated for that matter too. That's Jeremy right there.
Oh, Jeremy, I see the brand name. Made in USA. You know, I actually drove down here in my Prius with an American flag in my cup holder. I'm serious. It'll be in the video later on.
Good.
Proper size spur gear, I see, in terms of like the pitch.
Yeah, this would have been
similar to what they use today. Like the TrAxx is similar pitch,
30,
right? 32
pitch. Yeah, this is 32 pitch.
Interesting.
And this whole brick, they called this a brick. You got your servo, your other servo here, and internally was the receiver, and the 4 AA's would have been right in here.
Oh yeah.
With another half is missing.
Man, this is interesting. I don't think I've ever seen anything this old. It's interesting. Come to the hobby store, buy some TrAxx parts, check out a vintage Cox. These .049 engines.
.049.
0.049, yeah. So pretty much mass produced in all of these Cox style
they would
RCs,
change.
yeah.
They would change the. You know, they'd put a clamp on head for cooling. This is a clamp on heatsink on the tank. Just a larger flywheel than what would have been in a typical free running Cox car.
Right.
You know, these things idled pretty high.
I'm trying to get one of these older Cox vehicles, but they're fairly collectible. They go for like about $300 to $400 on eBay.
Yes.
So it's a little out of my price range for such a vintage.
I don't know if you could see it
model.
with the camera, but there's one of the dune buggies up there, which is one of the free running.
Oh, it's a Cox?
That's a Cox dune buggy right there on top of that clear glass case.
I see you have some retro remote controls over here. These are cool.
We have all the old stuff.
Yeah, I like this.
You know, airplanes hanging on the ceiling that date back 100 years plus.
Wow. Yeah, airplanes are the only thing I never really got into because of the risk involved. You know? It's a little beyond my skill set here. Oh, I see this Nitro one.
That's a control line, Ron.
Oh, control line, yeah. I usually thought the control lines were small. How it's probably not easy to hold something like this while
It has a good pull on it.
Yeah.
Some of them pull upwards of 75 to 100 pounds on you.
Wow.
The bigger ones, of course.
Yeah. Man, I can't imagine. There's absolutely no market for those today in terms of new, right? Like control line, I haven't seen any.
Well, there are specialty companies that still do it. This orange one here, this little one, that did over 220 miles an hour in 1971.
How big was like the radius that you usually have the spring?
70-foot line.
70 foot, wow. Oh guys, we've come to a car I used to actually own. The TrAxx X01. I had this brand new one. This is the first generation model, actually the same exact color that I used to have. You know, before Armor came out, this was the top speed king, guys. This hit literally over 100 miles per hour out of the box. No optional speed gears needed. They included 2 3-cell LiPo, so these ran on 6 cells. And they had, I think these were the first to have belted tires in the X01. Very, very sickening electric RC. Yes, I said it, electric. You know, but I had to give it a chance, guys. It took me a little while. It was actually this car that made me hate electrics. So that's kind of just the story right here, guys. You know, those of you that watch this channel, you know what I'm talking about. Nitro World Order.
Nitro World Order. Nitro World Order.